This module will provide you with strategies for managing professional relationships and common tips on business etiquette. CCEE has more detailed information about workplace culture, behaviors and attitudes, and professionalism in both virtual and in-person situations beyond this presentation if needed. In this module, you will define what professionalism means in both a work and academic context. You will learn about the three aspects of professionalism, explore workplace behaviors and attitudes, and develop strategies for managing professional relationships. Take a moment to consider, how would you describe what being a professional means? In most instances, including work and academic settings, being a professional includes being confident, reliable, polished, polite. It also involves behaving in an ethical manner, being articulate, organized, and thoughtful. These are only a few ways to describe being a professional. Now that we have an understanding of what being a professional means, let's look at how we can define professionalism. Professionalism can be defined in several ways. These definitions come from a variety of dictionary sources. You can see from the definitions on the slide that there are many components to describe what professionalism means, including personal qualities, level of competence, and conduct on the job or other setting. According to a career readiness survey conducted by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, 97.5% of employer respondents identified professionalism and work ethic as essential for a new college hire's success. The same would apply for university students. You can see how important professionalism is to your career success. There are many ways that you can behave in a professional manner. Let's consider each of these elements. First, your voice. Your voice should project confidence. You can demonstrate this by speaking with energy, enthusiasm, and conviction. Also, pay attention to your tone to ensure your voice is projecting in a positive way. These tips are valuable for both in-person and online situations. Secondly, consider proper etiquette. And this will be different depending on the circumstances of your work situation. In all cases, it is advisable to avoid getting involved in gossip and politics. Ensure that you are punctual and avoid absences, especially in North American workplaces. And ask questions or ask for help if you don't know what to do or how to do it. Another key component of professional behavior is common courtesy. Again, this may look different depending on your work situation and culture. In all cases, be respectful and encouraging. Be sensitive to diverse needs and opinions, and ensure confidentiality, especially when handling sensitive information. Lastly, consider what is appropriate in personal versus professional settings. For instance, how and when should you be using your personal phone? What is the expectation for social media use and web browsing during work time? How and when is it okay to have highly personal conversations with colleagues? If you have an open work area, how does your behavior impact others? These are all questions to consider in your work setting. Each workplace is unique, and it would be recommended to have a conversation with your supervisor about professionalism to ensure you are meeting their expectations. Professional behavior includes body language. What message are you sending? Consider your posture and eye contact. Try to avoid fidgeting or appearing too relaxed. Show the other person you are engaged and listening through positive body language. Also consider, how can you demonstrate these behaviors in both in-person and online settings? A firm handshake can instantly send a positive message about your professionalism. While the use of handshakes may have changed due to physical distancing measures, if you're going to shake hands in a professional setting, follow these tips on the slide to make a good impression. Professional attire is another way to demonstrate your professionalism. With that said, there is no one way to dress for success, especially when you consider the work environment, type of occasion, company norms, and your own culture. In most cases, it is better to be more formal than too casual. Doing your research and asking for clarification from your supervisors can go a long way to ensure you are meeting expectations. If you have questions about how to dress for success while still expressing your individuality and culture, contact the CCEE team for more conversation about this. As mentioned, think about professionalism from being in person and also online. You will have to learn how to manage both environments in the world of work. What is different about making a professional impression online? What would be the same? What might be different? Think about these questions as you start to plan how you will behave in a professional manner in your work and academic settings. Let's consider a few tips for being a professional in virtual meetings. Be mindful of your background and other people or pets moving about in your meeting space. Provide adequate lighting so that your face can be seen and set up the camera straight. Avoid eating on calls as well. Log into your meeting 5 minutes early if possible to ensure a solid connection. If you can, try to avoid using your phone for meetings, as the image may be more distorted than on a larger screen. Be ready for your meetings. Troubleshoot possible technology issues before your meeting. If you need to exit or leave the meeting early, post a note in the chat and turn off your video. Also note that people can sometimes see reflection from your glasses. Just be mindful of this while in virtual meetings and do your best to present a positive impression. Sending professional emails is another way to demonstrate your professionalism in an online setting. Employers and community partners and your instructors expect you to know how to send professional emails, and this is one of the most consistent feedback we receive. Demonstrate your professionalism by using proper language and spelling in your messages. Provide context to the reader about your message and include a subject heading that reflects what your message is about. Ensure proper grammar and punctuation is used as you would for any written communication. Review more details about each of these items in the lesson if accessible, and ask a CCEE team member for help if you would like more information. Part of building professional relationships and business etiquette includes managing workplace conflict. This slide outlines 4 main strategies, although you are encouraged to read more or participate in workshops or training specifically around managing conflict. A few tips are: talk directly with the other person. Arrange a time to meet in private to discuss the issue and try to resolve before involving a supervisor if you can. Focus on behaviors and events rather than placing blame onto another person. Providing specific examples can help to identify the issue and can avoid the other person feeling personally attacked. Listen carefully. Actively listen to the other person and avoid reacting. Actually listen to what the person is saying and summarize what you have heard to clarify the concern. Ask questions if you need more information. Identify points of agreement and disagreement. Once you have clarified the issues, identify your points of agreement and disagreement in a non-emotional way. Try to find a common ground to create a mutually beneficial or satisfying agreement. Remember, these are only a few tips on how to manage conflict. Discuss how to handle these situations with a CCEE team member or trusted confidant. Practicing what you will say and your approach can also be helpful. Workplace conflicts are difficult, and it is an important professional skill to develop. Another important aspect of being a professional is asking for feedback. Feedback is about assessing individual performance to determine if expectations are being met, goals are being accomplished, and results are being achieved. Asking for feedback shows your supervisor that you are professional and ready to improve your skills. Here are a few tips about feedback. Be proactive. Ask and initiate feedback from your supervisor and/or work colleagues. Seek out specific feedback. Rather than an open-ended conversation, ask for feedback on a specific concern or work project you have. Receive feedback non-defensively. If you are asking for feedback, you must be open to receiving it. Try to avoid an emotional reaction if you hear something that you did not expect or initially want to hear. Make sure you understand the feedback. Ask for clarification if you do not understand, or ask for examples to further understand the feedback if needed. Put your feedback into action. It is important when you ask for feedback that you take action on it. Have a plan to reach back out after you've acted on the feedback to see how you have improved. As you can see, being a professional involves many things, and it is often dependent on the context of your environment. In this module, we have learned about the 3 aspects of professionalism, explored workplace behaviors and attitudes, and developed strategies for managing professional relationships. This slide outlines a few more tips on how professionalism can lead to success. Here are 9 golden rules as identified by a leading expert at Apple and Microsoft. This session provides a broad overview on being a professional. As you gain experience in the workplace, you will learn more about what it means to be a professional and the nuances of professional behavior depending on the context and situation. CCEE staff are here to help with your professionalism and business etiquette. Review the resources in the lesson if you have access, and reach out to our talent development specialist for more information. Thank you.